The ultimate guide to present perfect time expressions. Have you ever noticed that some time expressions almost force you to use the present perfect? Expressions like for years, lately, so far, this year, in the last month. They all push you toward sentences like, I've lived here for years. We've had a lot of rain lately. So far, the results have been good. In today's video, we're going to look at a big family of time markers that naturally go with the present perfect. And more importantly, we'll learn the logic behind them. If you understand why these expressions connect past and present, you won't have to memorize rules. The grammar will start to feel logical and natural. The present perfect connects past and present. It usually tells us one of these things. A situation started in the past and is still true now. A series of events happened in the past, but the result matters now. We are talking about an unfinished time period that includes now. We are talking about experience up to this moment. You'll see that once you understand the concept, you can predict the grammar. Group 1. For plus time period, duration from past to now. Markers in this group include for years, for decades, for a number of years, for months, for weeks, for days, for hours, for a while, for some time, for a long time, for ages, for the past 3 years, for the last 10 years. All of these answer the question, how long? Examples. I've worked here for 3 years. They've been unhappy for a long time. This problem has existed for decades. What's the logic here? When you say for 3 years or for decades, you're describing a duration that stretches from a point in the past up to now. So the situation is not just finished in the past, it's connected to the present. That's exactly the job of the present perfect. I worked here for 3 years equals that time is finished. I've worked here for 3 years equals I still work here now. So, for plus time period is a strong signal that you're talking about ongoing duration, and that's why it goes naturally with the present perfect. Group 2. Since plus starting point. From a point in time until now. Markers in this group. Since 2015, since 2020, since January, since Monday, since last week, since last year, since yesterday, since this morning, since childhood, since I was a child, since my teenage years, since we met, since I moved here, since the pandemic, since then, since the beginning, ever since. Examples. She has worked here since 2015. I've known him since childhood. We've been friends since we met in college. Things have changed since the pandemic. What's the logic? Since gives you a starting point in the past. It tells you, this situation started here, and it continues up to now. Again, you're not describing a finished past story. You're describing a timeline. It starts in the past and continues up to now. That's why we use present perfect. I've lived here since 2020. I still live here. He has been interested in politics since his teenage years. He is still interested now. So anytime you see since plus a point in time or event, your brain should think, this is a line from past to present. I should use present perfect. Group 3. In/over/during the last/past. Recent block of time, including now. Now let's look at expressions like in the last year, in the last month, in the last few days, in the past week, in the past decade, in the past few months, over the past year, over the last decade, over the past few weeks, during the past decade, over recent years, in recent years. Examples. I've seen that movie 6 times in the last month. In the past year, we've traveled a lot. Cyber attacks have increased over the last decade. In recent years, many cities have invested in green transport. Let's compare these two sentences. I've seen that movie 6 times in the last month. I saw that movie 6 times last month. What's the difference? One tiny word, in, but it changes the time period and the tense. Simple rule. Last month equals finished period, implies simple past. In the last month equals includes today, implies present perfect. Let me explain more. Let's say today is November 15th. If you say, I saw that movie 6 times last month means October 1st to 31st, which is finished and over. You saw it 6 times in October, not at all in November. Use simple past. If you say, I've seen that movie 6 times in the last month means the past 30 days, October 16th to November 15th, which includes today. You saw it during this rolling window, possibly in both October and November. Use present perfect. Bottom line, adding in, over, during creates an unfinished period that includes now, so use present perfect. What's the logic here? These expressions describe a recent block of time that runs up to now. When you say in the last year, you're not thinking of a finished year in the past, like 2019. You're thinking of the period of 12 months leading up to now. This is still, in a sense, an unfinished period because it includes the present moment. That's why. I went to Mexico last year is a finished calendar year, but I've been to Mexico in the last year indicates the past 12 months counting back from right now. This period is not finished. Today is part of the last year. It's a rolling 12-month window. Group 4. Unfinished current periods. This/today. Next, we have unfinished periods that are still in progress. This morning, this afternoon, this evening, today, this week, this month, this year, this semester, this decade, sometimes even this quarter, this term in academic or business English. Examples. I've drunk 3 coffees today. We've had a lot of meetings this week. Sales have increased this month. This year, we've launched 2 new products. What's the logic? Expressions with this week, this month, this year, point to a time period that is not finished yet. This week includes now. This year includes now. Today includes now. So we use the present perfect to talk about what has happened inside this still open time frame. Compare. I went to the gym last week. Last week is finished. I've been to the gym this week. The week is still in progress. So, the rule of thumb. If the time period is this and it's still open, present perfect is the default choice. Group 5. For/all/throughout plus entire period. All of that time up to now. Now, let's look at expressions like all day, all week, all month, all year, all my life, all this time, all along, throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout my career, throughout history. Examples. I have been working all day. It's rained all week. I've wanted to do this all my life. Throughout my career, I've worked with international teams. What's the logic? These expressions emphasize that the situation has been true during the entire period up to now. If I say, I've been working all day, I'm telling you, from the start of the day until this moment, I've been working. Again, this creates a continuous line from past to present. The present perfect is perfect for that. So whenever you see all plus time period or throughout plus time period, and the period includes now, the present perfect is the natural choice. Group 6. Since/ever since, with events closely related to since plus time is since plus event. Here we have markers like since we met, since I moved here, since I started this job, ever since we met, ever since I can remember, since the pandemic, since the crisis began, since that accident. Examples. I've been happy since we met. I've felt more confident since I started this course. Ever since the pandemic began, we've worked from home. I've loved languages ever since I can remember. What's the logic? Again, since is a starting point. Events like since we met or since I started this job define the moment the situation began. From that event to until now equals present perfect line. So whenever you see since plus clause or ever since plus clause, you're in past to present territory, which is exactly the semantic home of the present perfect. Group 7, recent but unspecified time. Just recently, lately, of late. Now let's move to markers that say recently but don't give a specific date. Just now. Only just recently, lately, of late. Examples. I've just finished my homework. She's just left the office. I've recently changed jobs. I've been feeling tired lately. In casual American speech, speakers often use simple past instead of present perfect with certain time markers. 1. With just, simple past is very common in American conversation. I just finished my homework. Most natural. Present perfect. I've just finished is correct but sounds more formal. 2. With recently, both tenses are commonly used. I've recently changed jobs. Textbook correct, natural. I recently changed jobs. Conversational, sounds like storytelling. Both are acceptable. Americans use either depending on style. 3. With lately / of late. Present perfect, especially continuous, is strongly preferred. I've been feeling tired lately. Best and most natural. Why? Because lately describes a recent ongoing trend that still affects now. What's the logic? These adverbs tell us the action happened not long ago, but they do not give a specific closed time like yesterday at 5 p.m. So the focus is on the present result or the current situation, not on a finished moment in the past. I've just eaten implies the relevant information is I am not hungry now. He's recently moved implies the relevant fact is he lives somewhere new now. I've been tired lately implies this is a current pattern, not a single event. That's why present perfect fits. We're highlighting how recent past events affect the present, not narrating a closed story in the past. Group 8. Completion and non-completion. Already, yet, still. 3 very important markers of completion. Already, something finished earlier than expected. Yet, used in questions and negatives to ask if something has happened up to now. Still, shows that something has not changed and continues, often with surprise or frustration. Examples. I've already finished the report. Casual American. I already finished the report. Have you finished your work yet? Casual American. Did you finish yet? I haven't eaten yet. He still hasn't called me. We've already done the hard part. What's the logic? All 3 are about whether something is finished by now or not yet. Already implies this action is complete now, earlier than you thought. Yet implies has this happened up to now / it hasn't happened up to now? Still, in negatives, arrow, the situation continues up to now, and we expected change. So the semantic focus is the boundary at the present moment. Have you eaten yet? Equals, by this moment in time, yes or no. I've already eaten equals, by this moment, yes, and earlier than expected. He still hasn't arrived equals, by this moment, no, and that's surprising. Because we're talking about the status now, we use the present perfect to express that connection. Group 9. Experience up to now. Ever, never, before, in my life, so far. Now let's look at markers that talk about life experience or experience up to this point. Ever, never, before. in sentences like, have you done this before? In my life. In your life. All my life so far. Up to now. Up until now. Until now. Up to this point. As of now. To date. Thus far. Examples. Have you ever been to New York? I've never seen anything like this in my life. Have you done this before? So far, we've had no problems. Up to now, the results have been positive. To date, the company has launched 3 products. What's the logic? These markers ask, from the beginning of your life / from the beginning of this project until now, what has happened? We are not interested in when exactly each event happened. We're interested in the total experience up to the present. Have you ever equals at any time in your life up to now. I've never equals at no time up to now. So far equals up to this point in time. So again, the present perfect is ideal because it describes experience that started in the past but is evaluated at the present moment. Group 10. Current period habits and frequency. Many times, several times, often, regularly. Now we have markers that talk about how often something has happened up to now, often inside a current period. Once, twice, 3 times, 6 times, many times, several times, a few times, countless times, on multiple occasions, time after time, time and time again. Adverbs like often, frequently, rarely, seldom, occasionally, repeatedly. Examples. I've seen that film many times. I've called her several times today. We've discussed this issue a few times this week. I've often thought about moving abroad. She's rarely been this happy. This has happened on multiple occasions. What's the logic? Here the focus is on the accumulated number of events up to now. We're counting. How many times so far? We don't care about the exact dates. We care about the frequency and the present reality. Right now, my situation is, I have this experience many times already. That's why the present perfect is natural. It expresses accumulated experience or repeated events that are relevant now. Group 11. Narrative frames. So far, up to now, until now, over the last. We already mentioned some of these, but let's highlight their narrative function. These expressions include so far, thus far, up to now, up until now, over the last, over the past, in the past few years, in recent years. They are often used at the beginning of a sentence to create a context. So far, we've achieved 3 main goals. Until now, we've relied on traditional methods. Over the past few years, the company has grown rapidly. In recent years, many people have changed their views on this issue. What's the logic? These markers define the time window for your story. From some point in the past up to now, here is what has happened. The present perfect is used because the story is still open. Things can still change after now. You're essentially saying, here is the situation so far, but the story isn't finished. That's exactly the conceptual domain of the present perfect. Group 12. This is the first / second / third time. Another important pattern is, this is the first time, this is the second time, this is the third time, this is the ordinal time. Examples. This is the first time I've driven a car. This is the second time I've lost my keys this week. This is the third time we've discussed this problem. Group 12. This is the first / second / third time. Another important pattern is, this is the first time, this is the second time, this is the third time, this is the ordinal time. Examples. This is the first time I've driven a car. This is the second time I've lost my keys this week. This is the third time we've discussed this problem. At this point, we've seen a lot of markers. Let's make it simple. When you see a time expression and you're not sure about present perfect, ask yourself one question. Does this expression describe a time that is connected to now, either because it is unfinished or because it talks about experience/results up to this moment? If yes, present perfect is usually the best choice. If it describes a finished, closed time in the past, like yesterday, in 2010, last night, then it belongs to the past simple instead. All the markers we talked about today, for, since, this week, in the last year, already, yet, just, ever, never, so far, until now, lately, recently, and many others, are different surface forms of the same concept. They all describe time that reaches into the present. Bonus: the present perfect passive is common when we want to report completed actions without mentioning or emphasizing the person responsible. This is especially useful in 1. Formal writing and business English. The payment has been processed. The contract has been signed. All the changes have been approved. 2. News reports and announcements. A new policy has been announced. The meeting has been canceled. Several mistakes have been corrected. 3. Describing results when the doer is unknown or irrelevant. The window has been broken. We don't know who broke it. My car has been stolen. The thief is unknown. The message has been delivered. Focus: it arrived. When to use it. Use the present perfect passive when the action is more important than the doer. The homework has been finished, not the students have finished the homework. The doer is obvious from context. The documents have been signed, probably by the manager, no need to say it. You want to sound formal or professional. Your request has been received. You're giving an update on a completed task. The work has been done. The repairs have been made. Common phrases with present perfect. I've been really busy lately. I've just finished work. I've already eaten. I haven't had breakfast yet. I've never felt this tired. I've never seen anything like it. I've been meaning to call you. I've been waiting for ages. I've changed my mind. I've lost my keys. I've left my phone at home. I've heard a lot about you. I've always wanted to go there. I've known him for years. Common phrases with present perfect. I've lived here my whole life. I've just moved here. I've just got back home. Have you eaten yet? Have you finished your homework yet? Have you seen this movie? Have you tried this before? Have you ever been to New York? Have you already paid? Have you spoken to her today? How have you been?